Hey everybody!
Hello!
And welcome back to Breathe If You Agree.
Oh my God, we have such a special guest today.
Ah.
Flew in specifically just for this podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're just gonna say that it was not kismet. It wasn't like this lined up perfectly, but it did. We have social media star, comedian, touring queen, podcast host of Camp Counselor, correct?
Yes.
Zachariah Porter.
Woo! I'm breathing because I agree with all of that.
Yeah. You're
Thank
like
you for
everything you said was
having
great.
me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for being here.
Just a group of boys.
Just three gays in an apartment.
I
What's
love
gonna
it.
happen?
Oh my God. If you guys don't know this apartment is
sickening. Yeah. Even though we're just in one random corner, there are so many corners.
Well, I like an apartment that has character and it feels like it was lived in and it's a real home. It's not like everything is so like modern and gross now in a way where I just like don't feel inspired by it.
Totally.
This feels like, I don't know, there was a spirit here at some point.
Okay,
For
so
sure.
yes, it definitely could go very spooky vibes.
Yeah, 10
too.
people have
Like,
died here.
I kind of just since I've been here. There's about to be an 11. No, but it could be very spooky. But I've always felt like super calm energy.
It needs like an ostrich feather robe moment. It's
Oh.
very
Yes.
old Hollywood.
Yeah,
I like it.
You should have some sort of like clue party here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, you're invited.
I want to do like a trader's party.
I did a traders party and I won.
Oh, you did?
It was a friend of my ex-boyfriend's, and I knew his friends, but I didn't know like really anybody else. So it was kind of like amazing because I wasn't really. I was invited because I was his boyfriend. You know what I'm saying?
No
I
one
wasn't,
suspected you.
Yeah, no.
If it's not gonna be this person, they're a +1.
I was added in at the end of the game though. Like the traders added me, and then I threw one under the bus.
Gotcha.
I was that girl.
You're that girl. Oh, yeah. And they all loved you.
That
didn't
last
they?
minute trader always like makes it to the end and then like cuts.
Yeah.
Cuts.
Yeah.
I love Gabby.
I love Gabby. I love this whole season. I love the whole concept of the show. I love Carolyn too. I'm a huge Survivor fan recently. I just got into the last 4 seasons. I've auditioned twice.
Okay.
My biggest beef is with the Survivor casting department because it's like the only show I would ever do on reality TV, but I can't swim.
Oh,
So
they're not. They're like, you can't come on.
That's probably why they're like he's a liability.
But that could make
So-
for some good TV.
I
My
know.
friend Thomas is on this season, and he's wonderful.
Wait, your friend
the
on
gay
the-
guy. The gay guy on this season.
How do you
of
know
Survivor.
him?
I know him through LA, baby. LA, it's Hollywood.
He's doing a great job.
He's
so
doing a
far.
great job. He's hilarious. He got a black eye in the last episode.
He got hit in the face, and I thought he was
Yeah.
overreacting. And then the next episode, he was like fully.
No, and he's like the
black
sweetest, kindest, most incredible person in the world. I was actually at High Tops a couple weeks ago for the Survivor, the first episode, which was also the first episode of Survivor I've ever watched. And Carolyn, is that her name? She was there.
eye. Do you like the show now?
I've seen one episode.
Yeah.
I think it's like the most cutthroat, awful people, and that's why like they all do traders.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like just built different, like just aggressive.
Would you be a traitor or a faithful? Like, if I guess one, what do you think the producers would pick you as, and two, what would you want to be?
I would love to be a trader. I think I'd be a faithful. They'd give me faithful because I think I'm too sweet. But that's why I think it'd be a good trader.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Bob was playing too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Like from episode 1, I was like, "You're doing too much." Same thing with Boston Rob. But I want to be. What about you guys?
I could not. If they chose me to be a traitor, within 2 minutes, I'd be like, "Oh, guys, I'm a traitor. Oh my
would
god, I'm
laugh.
sorry."
I would laugh.
What?
I think if anybody asked me, I'd be
Someone
like,
would be like, "I think
sorry.
it's Nick. You're a traitor," and I'd be like,
I'm
Giggle.
not, I
"No."
promise.
Literally, someone would walk by me, and I'd be like, "How did you know?"
Literally. Or literally, like, if they open your eyes, I literally would be like,
Yeah. Or I
guys,
just,
who is it?
When the faces come up and you're like, clock it, clock
yeah.
it.
Or I'd just be like so obvious about it. I'd be like, I can't believe I'm still here. That's so insane that no one would kill me. I wonder, it can't be possibly me that I would kill. I would just say stuff like that.
I
And
think
everyone
they would
be
know.
Like, okay, it's him.
you could be a traitor, though.
I mean, I can be a bitch.
Do you think they give them a wardrobe budget?
Do you think they could what?
A wardrobe budget?
No.
Really?
No.
They
I mean, for
should.
Alan Cumming, for sure.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, for each of the looks. Maybe for, like, all-stars once
Yeah,
they
where's
get
the
there.
all-star?
Because really now, I think it's so cool how reality TV has become not only reality TV, but to go through the threshold of one show to go to a different show with all of other series, characters from all over.
Well, by the way, I mean, if you are a character on reality TV, bitch, you can work forever.
Yeah.
You can work
We're
forever.
seeing that now for sure.
Villains.
Yeah, I think Candy Muse will make that jump over next. Like,
She'll be on Traders next
or
season.
Bob. It's like those two. Like, I think Peppermint got robbed, but like Peppermint also, like, if you watch season 2, she looked like a traitor. So like I understand why they voted her out, but I wanted to see more of her. I love the Draggers girls. I want like Just a Drag Race Traders, I take it.
Would be sickening.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing crossover.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
are you watching this season of Drag Race?
I am. It's okay. It's good.
Right.
It's okay.
I feel like we've gotten too much Drag Race, and
Yeah.
now I'm not as impressed as I used to be. This sounds awful because the girls are really talented.
No, they're so talented. Yeah.
I love Lexi Love, but she's also like a little on my nerves right now. It's like the inner saboteur has to relax for at least 1 minute because it's getting a lot.
For Susie, who hasn't won, like in a love Susie, but like
She won one time. Let it go.
Yeah.
On Your Nerve is amazing. Yeah. I don't know who I want to win though. I'm kind of like okay with any of them winning. They're all pretty. Lana's fine. She's really been lucky.
But I feel like that. I feel like that says something. If you're just like, if like any of them could win, it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with Sasha Colby's one of the Colby daughters is like an LA queen. I don't know her name. Don't shoot me, but I just saw her do the celebrity is it Celebrity by Lady Gaga?
yes, Perfect Celebrity.
Perfect Celebrity.
Yeah.
She's in a bar in WeHo and she's in a full very 1980s formal wear gown with her whole jaw covered in blood and she's singing it with blood in her hands. I'm like, cast her.
Yeah.
We need another
Yeah.
Colby. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Always. Colby's
Yeah.
down.
Colby's
we love Colby.
down.
I love Colby. I love Sasha Colby.
Yeah, Nick's seen
I'm
one
not-
episode of Drag Race.
I've seen 10, and
2.
I've seen 3 from this season, which for me is a lot.
Yeah, but of all seasons to see 3 of a season,
I know.
I'm telling
I
you,
know.
it's not this one.
I know.
Don't worry, he talked through all of them.
Who's that? Yeah, I was like, does anyone want to just
During the singing, no, it was during the singing episode, the musical.
Yeah.
Did they record? Yeah, they recorded their own songs. We're all watching it. We're at a bar. So that is what is playing on the speakers. We see them record for 15 minutes, the songs. We get to the musical. Nick's like, bobbing around. He goes, are they singing? Is this their voices? I was like, we just saw them in a recording studio
What
for
were you
20
doing? Just
minutes.
twirling around?
I was just walking around talking to people
You're
who
just
who were
social.
watching TV. I'm a social girl, but also on top of it too was I think that episode too. I was like, when's the other team performing?
Literally.
And they were like, no, they're all on one team. I was like, oh, that's kind of boring. I hate this show.
Everyone's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He was like, it's almost over. I was like, no, we have Untucked. And he was like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was like another
we did
hour.
it.
I can't. We
didn't have to watch.
Untucked always stays on backward, on the background. I can't. It's not my thing.
As
Oh,
much
really?
Yeah, only if it's a good episode, I'll tune in.
Okay.
I watched Arietti's Untucked, and actually I saw Arietti 2 weeks previous to her elimination in Boston at a hotel at 3:00 in the morning. I was leaving an after party and came in out of drag, but the makeup was that makeup.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi, and she was like, but obviously she's tired. She worked all night.
Right.
Little did we know what was gonna come.
She was in the best of.
She knew
of
something was
moods
coming
that night.
She said, "Oh shit, my demise is 2 weeks away." She's processing, and I'm like, "She's like, oh, there's a fan.
Yeah.
I'll check in again in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. How much longer?
I'll tell you that though, as a lifelong Drag Race fan, how that all went down was shockingly bad energy.
Yeah.
Bad edit. I don't know if you can recover from that. I've never seen someone go out that poorly, even with the lipstick message about the teeth for Anya.
Yeah.
It was a really tough watch.
It's pretty bleak. I feel
bleak.
bad. I and there
I know.
are I know her dreams just ended, but I mean she was acting kind of
She's also 28.
severely. Yeah.
Whatever
That is
happened.
wild.
It's crazy. You're not 21. You're 28.
Whatever
you're
happened, it sounds crazy.
Oh, she got sent home. It was bad, and then she left a lipstick message they do every week, and it said from one smelly girl to another, Anya, brush your teeth.
Oh.
But Anya has a condition that she pulled them aside off camera to tell about.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and it was
bad.
and we had never known about that the whole season. So it got unearthed
Great.
there.
That's super sweet.
I don't think she was, trying to have that in her storyline.
Right. And then it
which
became kind of
totally,
the
I
main
get it.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dental is no joke. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
Everyone though, take care of your teeth because it only gets worse, more
Yes.
painful, more expensive.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I'm gonna wear my retainer tonight. I
Yeah.
promise.
Does it still fit?
Mine does.
Yeah, if I squish it on.
Mine does.
Are you an avid user? Or
No, I'll put it in once a week.
Oh my god, and your teeth just don't shift?
I mean, it hurts, but no, they're they're pretty good.
Yeah, they look
They're-
great.
they're-
They look
you're
great.
like, maybe not.
No,
the
they look
bottom
great. I
ones.
think my bottom teeth are shifting.
Mine
for
are
sure.
too.
Yeah.
It's okay, whatever.
Look, we're
Jagged
fucking
little
human.
pill.
Look, we're humans. This is
Jagged
what we
little
do.
pill. That was cute.
Yeah.
I like
Literally.
that.
Yeah,
down
this is
there.
where we're gonna put a picture of all of our teeth in. Wait, talking about your teeth, let's talk about you.
Oh,
I
hi.
mean, we love reality TV, but we want to hear more about you.
Yeah.
Tell us your story. Tell us your life. Tell us everything. Wait, actually though, how did you get how did you get your start? How did this begin?
I've just been addicted to people watching me, I guess. I like the attention.
Well, you're
I
a
don't know.
star.
I feel like anyone who puts himself on the internet clearly likes attention. But no, I've always been a class clown. I was working in restaurants, went to school for marketing, started making TikToks at this like nonprofit job. I got fired for making TikToks while working there. And this was 2019 before COVID. So like no one was on TikTok. Were you on TikTok at that point?
Were you? I down. Someone basically told me, and I think this is the only reason that I have any sort of followers because I rarely post, is because I downloaded it very early on because someone was like, "This is gonna be the next big thing." Honestly, I probably should have just started fucking posting then. I think my life would be very different. But you posted anything and like everyone saw it. But wait, so were you posting TikToks like at the job, like while you were okay, so it wasn't for the job.
No, but I would do them on my lunch break.
Right.
Wink.
Wink.
But like my job, like the thing is when you work in corporate America, anyone who works in an office knows that like, okay, it's 9 to 5, but you don't need to be doing something at all times. It's more of like task oriented. So like my job was amazing. I did a great job. It was the best like assistant they ever had in that position. I was doing like fundraising for nonprofits. Okay. And I did a great job, and I was leaving, and my manager at the time knew I had a good relationship with everybody else and knew that during my exit interview I was going to be honest about her behavior towards me and towards everybody else. So I put my 2 weeks in, and the day before my last day, she went behind my back to HR and told them I was, so they got to fire me without giving me any benefits.
Gotcha.
Because it was through the diocese. It was like a Catholic organization.
Okay.
So it went down as me being fired, even though it was my last 2 days there.
She's evil.
She was a traitor.
She was a traitor.
Yeah.
So they gave me one of those boxes that's like so movie when you get fired. I know.
What
Like,
are
so
with the plant?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm packing my
with
stuff.
a stapler.
We're gonna need that plan back.
Yeah.
We share an office, and like I'm in front of her and she's to the right of me, and I'm packing my stuff and I'm furious, and I turn around and I go, I just think it's funny that, and I ripped her new asshole.
Good.
And I exposed her, and I was like, and you know what? You sit on this like high horse, but if anyone Googles your husband, we all know what he did. And I'll tell you off camera what he did, but it was all public knowledge. So for someone to act like she was better than everybody else, like yada yada yada. But I'll never forget, a year and a half later, I was like on the cover of our local newspaper for like doing TikTok, and she got that newspaper every single day on her desk. And I know that bitch walked in the work and saw my fucking face, ate it up. But and the rest is history. I just like have kind of like changed my content. It's always been funny, but like wigs and characters, and I was doing thrifting gadgets for a while, cooking and stuff, and now
loved those.
And now I'm just doing all mostly character stuff, and it's been like 7 years for me or 6.
It's crazy.
Kind
well,
of
I mean, it
nuts.
shows. I mean, your stuff is incredible.
Thank you.
By the way, I literally was telling Julian that last week. I went down a rabbit hole of your page, and I was just on it for 2 hours, I think.
You can be every single time.
Yeah, no, literally, it's just like flipping through, and I'm like, fuck, it's so funny, so funny, so funny. But you're a new fucking Amish character.
Yeah.
Oh my God, with Twisted Tea. I was fucking dying. And so, like, for all of these characters, I know, like, are some of them from childhood jobs, like, or is it also just like
people you've encountered, or like
it's all people from Massachusetts. It's mostly women. I love impersonating women. It's like a version of drag, but I can never call it full drag because that's like offensive to like real drag queens who are like in full beat. But it's my butch drag. Yeah, it's mostly like female presenting characters of people I grew up with. The Amish character was so funny. I came home off of tour, and I always like, after I travel a lot, I hit this like, I have no ideas, I'm gonna kill myself. And I had like the worst night before because I was like spiraling. I'm like, I have no content. And then I saw that TikTok of that little girl whose aunt gave her an Amish costume, and it went viral.
Oh, yes.
And she was shutting all the lights off in her apartment because she's Amish.
Little girl, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, for our podcast, we did a Patreon episode about Amish people. We have that costume, and I like filmed it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it went nuts. And I was like, made Jonathan the next day my boyfriend. I was like, we're doing another one.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay again. Like, that's the rush of content creation. It's like you have a win, and then it's like, okay,
all right,
gotta top it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know this feeling. I've been doing it for like so long, but like it never gets easier. Like right now I'm like, well, what's next?
Yeah,
totally.
I don't have a long-term content plan. It's always like, what's gonna work this week?
Yeah.
Like,
but I don't think I mean, from what I understand from like a lot of the people that I see and whatnot, I mean, unless you're just like Alex Earl or something, or like one of those people who are, it's like, I'm thinking like, it's like lifestyle brand and shit like that. Like I think the day-to-day for content creation for a lot of people is like, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to do more exciting, fun things, like get more eyes on myself. But like, yeah, it's not like, well, I'm going to do this thing in 2 years and then that's going to turn into this thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, you want like a TV show or something, but the like, what's tomorrow versus 3 weeks from now? It's like, I guess I'm just trying to make people laugh and get on their page, right?
Yeah,
like,
and creativity just like sparks. Like I'll see something and be like, oh,
yeah,
that's the next idea. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you sometimes, I feel like in those moments, like scroll and just like look and sometimes just like go in a deeper hole?
Yeah, of course. And yesterday that was happening, and I'm so behind on my taxes. I have to do so many like.
I just
expenses.
realized it's March 18th.
Yeah.
So I could have done that all day, but instead I scrolled all day trying to find an idea, and then nothing got done.
Yeah.
And then it hits like 5 o'clock, and I go, well, that's it. Get on DoorDash. What's for dinner?
Like,
I'm done.
Clock out.
That's
9 to 5.
I will clock out at 5 every day.
Through your 6 or 7 years of doing this, like, do you have that, or have you ever encountered that, like, I'm sure you have, but like the judgment of yourself, or like, do you still ever like complete something and then be like, no, or like get worried, or is it's just like the filter is clear now where it's like, this is I'm just,
No, I critique everything to the point where I hate everything I post, and then I'm like,
totally.
oh wait, it's good. I think when you look at something for so long and you're editing and you're
Yes.
making a choice of like what cut stays, like you lose the funny in it. But then you have to remember that like no one saw all that; they're only seeing the finished product, so they're surprised by all of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's way better to live your life really critical in that sense, because I think some people that just don't give a fuck or don't care, they fizzle out so fast because everything doesn't matter to them. But like everything matters to me so deeply that it's like keeps me like I don't know, it keeps my work consistent in a way.
Totally.
So it's like it is what it is, you know.
It takes up every part of my brain. It was like every little detail.
Well, yeah, your stuff is fun. I was telling my agent today, I was at lunch, and I said, if I was 6 inches taller and I lose 40 pounds, Julian's fucked. My game is not. How do you store your wigs?
In a Ziploc bag in like containers by like color and then by cut.
Do you style them?
I mean, the styling of the ones you see is usually like
Pre-styled.
a ponytail or if it's like a big styled wig, it's pre-styled. But I can do like a claw clip. I can do like a little updo, but like nothing like, I'm not putting like gel and hairspray.
I want to learn that. And YouTube, it's like, YouTube University, whatever. I will take a class. Like, there's pottery classes, there's cooking classes. Give me a wig styling class in New York City. Someone do it. Drag queen needs to do it. I will show up.
But
Yeah.
what happens to the wig after you fuck with it? Because like you're not, do you get in the
Depends.
shower and like put it on and like
Well, like,
shampoo and
Not synthetic. You can't do that.
right.
The drag, like real drag queens though, they'll wash a wig and then
Yeah.
they'll restyle it. You know what I mean? Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I need to, and it's like the resources are there. Like I could figure it out. But
Right.
I would love to like have that be something I move into, was like a more stylized version, because a lot of my stuff is so rough and ready, which I think is a part of the brand of it all. But it is feel like nice. Like sometimes now I'm doing lashes and like a small beat, and I'm like, wait.
Trust.
Trust.
It keeps going.
I'm like,
The liner will get sharper.
I'm like, somehow like this does feel like a little too correct. Like,
I look a little too good.
I like this. This is the first time I've like grown my beard, and truly, it takes my fantasy away with wigs.
I know.
And not that like love it, but I've said to Nick, I'm like, I just can't. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. And when I put like, if I put blush on, it's just like literally
like,
pink and hair, and I'm like, I've got blush blindness, so I think it's from like George's or like Drag Race. I'm like, pink. And then I put it. I'm like looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You're like, I'm actually loving that.
We're actually I'm gonna switch. Let's do Saw today.
Yeah.
Actually. The inspiration
I
stroke.
love that.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of like you're in your little Amish outfit and you like see yourself in the mirror and you're like, fuck it, babe, we're going out. Babe, I look fucking incredible.
I have this like one bra that I've been using for years, and the underwire just started popping out of it, which I'm so sad about, because you really can't like fix it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like such a tried and true bra. But I usually do 1.5 socks in each.
Okay.
That's kind of my like method to the madness. But for her, I did 2 socks, and they're really thick socks. So she was a little like, when I would sit down in the costume, I'm like, these tits are too big. Like, this isn't reading. Like, it's like just kind of like molding all to this
You're like,
one thing.
fuck, babe, I have milkers.
Like,
We gotta switch it up.
she's milking at the dairy. That girl, she was.
I really want to. I think I want to get a breastplate.
Oh, so my friend got me one off Amazon, and it was a cheap one. It was like a $70 one, and it looks like the one on Drag Race where they were like, yeah. What did they say though? They
were too close together, and they were tiny.
they said Fisher Price like baby's first tits or something. Like it's like I put it on, it's like they're in the middle, and my shoulders are still so far out. So yeah, I want like a real tried and true.
Like a nice pair, and I want to do that Saucy Santana to like bounce them. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh yes, Saucy
has some natural like breasts.
Yeah,
though. Like they move in a very like, I don't know, pleasing
Beautiful
way.
Yeah.
I like
Or TikTok Live Diva. Love you, Saucy.
Love you, Saucy.
Also, one of my favorite things that happens in your videos is when you keep Jonathan is your boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
When you keep in his like, I know you clip it a little bit, but or when you break in it, it's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's like
you gotta,
SNL thing.
it's like keeping it fun. I know there's like, it's funny. I was listening to Amy Poehler's new podcast yesterday, and they were talking about breaking and whatnot. And I know I've had so many friends, especially writers, who have worked on SNL, and they're like, that's like the number one thing with Lauren. Like, you cannot break. It's like, and I'm like, why not? That's my favorite shit. Like during Debbie Downer and shit like that, when people break, I think it's the fun. I understand you don't want people breaking all the time because then it's whatever. But when that shit happens, that's when I lose my mind. That's when I'm like, this is.
They
so
used
funny.
to break so much more too. Like Bill Hader.
Oh yeah, Bill Hader couldn't get through a single, not a single skit. Or Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon's like the whole fucking time.
But Jimmy Fallon's laugh isn't honest anymore because it's like he'll just give it away.
Right.
So it's like he doesn't make you work for it at all.
Yeah. Like anyone he interviews, he's just like, so what are you wearing? And like a dress. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's true. I like the break. Yeah, I keep it in because I think people like it, and I think it's funny, and it's like it just kind of takes the seriousness away. Because sometimes I'll do like a video that's like a drama because selfishly I want to make that. There's no comedy in it, but if Jonathan breaks a little bit, and I'm like, well, there's the joke, guys. Like I love it. Jonathan laughs. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, we eat it up.
Yeah.
Do you write out everything before, or are you just you improv?
I improv it, and there's always like half of the video that's like never makes the cut.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how it works for me. But I think improving. I took an improv class at the top of last year that like kind of changed my life in a way. So now I'm even more comfortable doing it. I did UCB. Have you guys done like classes like that before? Did you like it?
Loved it.
I did a lot of improv in college before, and then I moved to LA, and they're like, you have to go back down to 101 because they just wanted me to pay them. And I was kind of just like, this feels ridiculous because I trained in improv in school and in Chicago. So I was like, this is frustrating. But I think for like anyone who wants to like break into improv or hasn't done it before, I think it's like the best thing in the world that you could do.
It is a touch like competitive when it doesn't need to be.
Oh,
like,
for sure. In class too, which is wild.
I was in there and I did this intensive one. So people flew in from around the country to take it because it was like a condensed 2-week program.
Yeah.
And we did like 5 hours a day. And people instantly didn't like me because I came from the internet. The teacher hated me. Second class, someone brings up how to get an agent, and he stops the class. He goes, why don't you ask Zachariah? Because he has one. And he was like, I'm here to learn. Oh my God. I literally was like, there was such like a power dynamic with that. And I was like, I literally am just trying to be funnier.
Yeah.
So the whole class, I was very much like, took a back seat because I just didn't want to step on anyone's toes. But it was everyone was so like wanting to be the one in the class that I kind of like, it taught me how to like do a joke and have 0 people laugh in public. Cause now I do stand up. So that like helped me get into doing stand up, like having people not react from like a phone, obviously. So that was helpful. And then I did a stand up class. And then everyone was so awful in that class too. Yeah. Like no one was even like, so I would laugh at everyone's terrible bits, and then I would go, and then no one would laugh for me even if they didn't think it was funny. Like just like give me a nod.
A chuckle, something.
Yeah.
I think if you ever do a class and it's not making you feel better about yourself, sometimes you don't have to push through. Maybe it's just not your moment.
Right.
Like,
but it's also something that's like so fucked up about that to me is that like, they're like, oh, this person from the internet who's like done well and he has an agent. Shouldn't it say more about you that you're willing to do that same, like, you know what I mean? The mindset of, oh wow, this person's here. Wouldn't the mindset normally be like, this person thinks they're too good for this?
But also, why does it even play a part?
Yeah,
it's just like everybody's trying to learn.
I'm gonna be shady. It was the teacher, so I was like, I don't know how long you've been grinding at this, and now you're seeing somebody that like is. But that's just that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry I use the internet.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's free for everyone.
Right.
Download the app.
And I think there is a big part of all of it, of content creation, the internet, fame, whatever, all that stuff, where there is this like, you know, kind of people putting their nose up at people who like took advantage of it and are doing well. And it's like, well, you could have done the fucking same.
Yeah.
And like, go, by the way, bitch, I see your iPhone and I see you texting, go do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see like, I understand that it's frustrating to feel like, oh, like I feel like I want that. But like, yeah, I watch movies and I want to be them. And I'm not being like, fuck this actor for being an actor. I just should try harder to be an actor.
Yeah.
Today someone said, well, at the car dealership, oh my God, so fun. Really pivot. My car got stolen on Monday.
Stolen.
Isn't that so crazy? But I went to get a rental car today.
Wait, did you talk about that on the podcast yet?
No.
this is,
How did it get
I know.
stolen?
It got literally stolen from my garage. Literally on Monday morning.
I know.
Was there a key in it?
No, nothing. So what I'm learning is, everybody, that now with these cars that I had a Jeep that you can like, it's a press system.
Yeah,
I have one of those.
You can
Outside.
There
Fuck.
is a device or some kind of software that can, if it's close enough to the key or to the car of the key, like between my keys, which are like right there, and the garage, they can pick up some kind of signal that mirrors that. So I've been told that I need
extender?
Yes. That I need to
Oh.
get a metal box to put keys in when I leave, if I'm going to leave them here, if it's that close.
This is such valuable information.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, clip it.
What?
Yeah.
That, and they said, they were like, if you haven't put an air tag somewhere in your car,
Yeah.
which, you know, that is like, but I didn't think of that. I was
No,
just like,
but
totally.
also, I don't think anyone's thinking of that.
But I was
Also,
like, I
a
have
metal
both
box?
pair of keys and the like ring, which again, I'm not sure if this was even like working, but they took, when I looked up, the Ring camera has like the thing is hanging and there's like no battery. Like they took the thing, so it was like
Oh, so there's no footage or anything?
no, nothing.
Wait, what happened when you went out there? Were you like, what the fuck?
Well, 'cause
So I
wait,
wasn't
we got
even
home
going
on Sunday.
We
Was
got
it
home
there?
Sunday night. So yes, it was there Sunday, which you can kind of see through the like crevice. So I kind of like, I didn't look because I wasn't gonna leave. We got home at like 6:37. So I was like, I'm going to bed. I look and I'm like, okay, it's there. I mean, I didn't like really check. I was just kind of like, you know, when you were like,
of
okay,
course,
yeah.
yeah.
Then
Well, I'm not often being like, is my car where I left
Still
it?
there.
Like,
Yeah,
I
of
just,
course.
yeah.
It's
I
there.
I wasn't even going to drive. It was 12. I had a workout at 12, so I was leaving here. It takes me 30 minutes to walk, so I leave at like 11:30. I like am going out. My mom ran the half marathon in New York. Congratulations,
Go, Ann.
absolutely slayed it. I
Love
Could
that.
never.
I'm calling her. I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations! Passing the garage, which was open on my side, which isn't because there's like my neighbor parks there and I park there. So like really the only time my side is open is when I need to leave because
Right.
if it is, then it's
closed, yeah.
is blocking theirs. So I'm walking by and I'm like, oh. My mom's like, yeah, it was so good. I was like, actually, I need to call you back. I was like, I'm sorry,
Hold
I
that
really
thought.
need to call you back. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, did I do
Right.
something? Because like I had gotten home and like, I don't know. I was just thinking, but I had been gone for the week. So I was in Nashville until Thursday, got back Thursday, left Friday to meet Nick in San Francisco. So on Friday morning, I know it was there for sure. And I was like, well, I didn't park it anywhere because I don't have a street permit. So like I can't park on the street.
Yeah, are you just standing
And
there with like your hands on your shoulders? Like,
I'm thinking to myself, just
Where is
like,
it?
where did you
Yeah.
go? And then I was like, I really gotta stop smoking weed. Literally, it really crossed my mind. I was like, geez, Louise, I really am like blowing through it. But it didn't. And then I was like, okay, let me call my building and be like, maybe they towed it. Maybe someone like, couldn't because it's a tight squeeze too for the size of the car and it's doable, but it's just like you have to be like on high alert.
You're also just not like, oh, my car got stolen.
No,
That's
you're
the last thing I would
that's the
think in the
last-
chain
yeah.
of command.
Totally.
Like,
So I'm like, did you tow it? And they're like, no, we didn't tow. Actually, no, the building did not answer 5 times. Whoever runs this building was in a meeting from literally 11:30 to 6 because they did not answer the phone once.
They
It
were
went to their
recording TikToks at
voicemail.
work.
Literally. And then I call all the towing around. Then I called the 311 being like, I think my car got stolen. They're like, did you call towing? And I was like, yeah, but could you give me the numbers of anywhere else you think that could be like All City or like Hollywood or whatever. I'm calling around. I call back. I'm like, it's not anywhere. They didn't find it either. Then the police come. I filed my report. Then I had to call insurance. Then I had to call, all these things. I've been doing it this was Monday morning. And then I find out that on the Jeep app, I can see.
Oh,
So
see what?
the car, but I can't see like it moving. Like if somebody was driving right now, I can't see it moving, but you can see the trips. So then I had to call back yesterday when I found this out. I was calling like insurance and everything, and I was like, they took it at 9:30
a.m. on Monday.
On Monday.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was like it doesn't tell you where, but it will tell you when the car starts and when it turns off.
Damn, kind of like
So now-
light out. That's a weird time to steal a car. I feel like I'd be.
It's
Like, that's when
busy.
people
It
go
was
to work.
busy.
Yeah.
I was
You're
like,
so right. It's like what?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they did it in the middle of the night.
Well,
course.
also it's LA and no one works, so maybe they were like, it's 9:30 a.m. No one's going to work.
So now, yesterday, it's in Bakersfield, California.
Where's
There's a
that?
bunch
I
of
don't know.
It's
North.
like 4 hours. There's like oil rigs.
Oh, they're sending it out.
So it's off road. So first of all, I almost jumped through the phone with this person yesterday. I called the West Hollywood sheriff and I'm like, hi, I have like information because at one point I had an address. Everything else was just showing up zip codes. So I was like, I have an address. I was like, can I talk to somebody? Like, I have this thing. And they're like, where is it? And I was like, it's like in Bakersfield. It's like 4 hours away. And she's like, sir, no one is driving 4 hours away for a phone. And I was like, excuse me. I was like, were you? And I'm never rude, like on the phone.
You gotta be.
But it was a moment where I was just like, excuse me, I don't think you were listening to literally anything I said. Because I was like, this is a stolen vehicle report. I have everything in front of me. I can give you the information. I have the report number. I have everything. And she was like, oh, let me talk to my supervisor. I was like, But she then she got on the phone. She's like, you can call back at 9. I was like,
What?
no.
So it's gone.
So then I call Kern County. Then I call where I find it. Well, no, I can say that, I guess. It's in Kern County. So if anybody's in Kern County and sees a Jeep. But I was like, is that bad?
Get your eyes open.
But then I was
to
on
our
the
Kern
phone
County listeners.
with 2 deputies, like 2 from their cars, like looking for this. And they're like, is there any cross streets? I was like, no. So in the satellite, when you look in the map, it's on like dirt. Like it's off-road.
I wonder if there's other cars there. That seems like that could be like, you could unlock like a whole.
That's what I kind of was hoping yesterday because I was on the phone with these people and they were actually very helpful. They were really trying. They were like, do you see? And I was like, I was taking screen recordings, like trying to find like pathways and then like roads and sending them to their like work phone. I don't think it was.
But
like,
it's a Jeep, so like go over there and look for a Jeep in the area.
Right.
Like,
And it's also it's a specific type of Jeep.
It's like a green.
It's like green and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
But
I totally understand why someone would want to steal it.
yeah, and that's that. And then they never called me back, and it's kind of just
at a standstill.
waiting.
Well, maybe they're cracking the code.
Hopefully they are, but insurance, the insurance that I'm
they have
encountering is that they only wait a week.
Oh, okay. Well,
Why make you wait any longer?
And
Also,
literally, I was
yeah.
like, and I got a rental car today, like literally spirits have been high. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, because
you're so much better than me. He texted me on Monday. He's like, we're in the middle of texting about, I think, doing this podcast, and he was like, my car got stolen, lol. And I'm like, what? Like,
That's not common though.
no,
That's not. Yeah.
it's almost like
At 9:30 in the morning.
shocking. and
my
almost, like, violating
my year would have been over. I just write it at that. I would have canceled everything.
it.
I would have been a
Year.
bitch to everyone for the rest of the
Yeah.
year. I would have been like, don't ask anyone ask me to do anything. My car got stolen.
It's like a little violating because I just moved here, so I'm kind of like, and there are cars on the street, but I guess like maybe they closed the garage and they could like fiddle with it like out of sight. But that was Monday, so
That's
we're dealing with
insane.
that.
But now we know metal box.
Metal box.
Metal box
And the Jeep app so clutch.
Yeah.
The Jeep app so clutch and they
Yeah, I guess this is an ad for Jeep.
yeah.
Now I
sponsor
see One Traders. Yeah, these like little mastermind tricks.
yeah.
us. I'm gonna get an extender.
I also
Let's
love
do
the
your
idea.
car.
I love the idea of you with the Kern County deputies being like, yeah. So where are you guys from? So
I
what's
kept being
Kern
like-
County like? Do you guys like? Should I visit at some point? Like,
No,
what do you
they were
think?
asking me cross streets, which I have a funny story. My best friend who I moved here with, the first time I ever went to New York with my mom when I knew Bettina, I was meeting her at a high school party, and my mom is super cool, so she took me on the train, and she wasn't like questioning anything. She was like, okay, totally. But we're trying to find this thing, and my mom's like, ask her where the cross streets are, and Bettina's like, there are no cross streets, and we're in Manhattan, so it's like she's
All
like,
across
there are no cross streets, and my mom's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
So like
She's
yesterday
like,
on
you
the
mean
phone,
two streets that cross each other.
Literally.
Oh, got it.
yesterday on the phone, they're like, can you tell us the cross streets? I was like, there really are no
Yeah.
street signs. Like there is no like name. It's dirt. And She was like, I don't understand. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, I'm trying. And on the phone, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can send you a screenshot.
Also, you're in front of a computer. Just Google what I'm saying really quickly, and we'll all be on the same page.
Aren't you a cop? Isn't this like the entire job?
I will say they have been. I mean, everybody who has talked to has been very kind to me. So like,
you're all in West Hollywood.
You need updates on that.
Not you.
Updates on that, though,
yes,
for sure.
I will keep updated. If I don't hear by Monday, then yes,
I need
to
a new car. We're gonna get a new car.
Start the process of that.
Yeah, that's
so.
Yeah.
Woo!
Wow,
Can't wait for next week.
Wow, that is exciting.
But do you drive?
Yeah.
So you're from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. They drive there.
We drive there. We love a car there. I have a car in New York, which is kind of like, but I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
So you can drive in Brooklyn, and I drive. It's never been stolen.
That's good.
That's fair.
But I do have push to start. So
yeah, I do. I push to start. I think everyone has push to start. Apparently, we're
pushing
all
my
fucked.
buttons. That song called "Push to Start."
Who sings that?
Tyler.
Oh,
Give me motivation.
How long have you lived in Brooklyn?
2.5 years.
Okay.
But we're buying a house this year.
Exciting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we got all the bank stuff set up and stuff and all like the legal stuff. So we're looking at houses now. I'm hoping to be back in Mass for the whole summer.
Okay.
And then we'll do hybrid Mass in New York.
Cute.
For me, I need to be home.
Yeah.
I feel more creative when I'm like where I grew up. I think that's where I pull all my inspiration from. And I didn't move out of my area until I was 27 or 26. So like I have everyone stayed there. Like all my friends are there. My family's there. So I go back and forth a lot, but I'm like, oh, long term when everything's over or like when I'm ready to like take a break, I want to be there.
Yeah.
And I spent so much money going back and forth. I'm like, let's just get a small house here and then we'll do like back and forth between New York. I'd love to potentially live here at some point.
Please.
Yeah. I used to not like LA in this like superficial way that people don't like LA until they come and they're like, wait, it's
not
simply not true at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would love to come here at some point, but I always want my base to be in Mass.
Yeah.
So this summer I'm going to be there all summer.
But that's also the dream. It's like I think that like everyone in entertainment is specific. And by the way, yes, it used to be this way, but now it's so different. It's like, well, you have to be in New York or LA. You have to be in New York or LA. It's like, no. And also kind of that's a shitty kind of aspect to it where it's like, well, one, do I really have to be? And two, it's nice to see that someone can like actually be. Because I don't know. It's just like, why do I have to move to one of these two cities to do this job? It doesn't
depends
make sense
like
to me.
what you're doing, I guess. I don't know if you guys audition for stuff, but like I don't ever do it in person. I'm always
It's
just
like
doing
99% of the time
like self-tape.
Yeah.
So you can self-tape anywhere you are. And I also like now I tour, so I'm like get on a different plane from a different city. Like, it doesn't really matter. And like the cities are good for networking, and I'll never regret it because I needed to like do it. Because if I didn't, I always would have regretted not seeing what that felt like. And it was like the hardest thing I ever did in my life because I was like such a homebody, and I'm like But now I'm like, oh, okay. Like I think that's what led me to like even do like stand up and to push myself. It's like because that was the biggest thing I ever did. So now everything else doesn't feel like as hard to do in a way that's like, oh, it's not impossible. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So with touring, a couple questions. I know, like we said earlier, improving with the videos. Like, what is your writing process for stand-up?
So that is written.
Okay.
That is all written out. Yeah. So I do my show in 5 acts, which is like crazy. I do like 15 minutes stand up.
The brutalist.
And then I leave and I play videos. Cause I saw Benny Drama do this his show in 2019 when he
I
was
saw
like,
the same show.
Yeah.
So
and that it's kind of like how I formatted my show all these years later. I'm like, oh, you just play a video while you're off stage, but you make it a bigger production video. But it's not weird for the audience because they watch your video.
That they're there for you, yeah.
And you're setting up the bit for the next thing. And then I do backstage, and Jonathan's backstage ripping wigs and costumes off, and I'm like tucking and like, let's go. And then I do character, then stand up, then character, then stand up, and it ends up being like an hour and 15 minutes of just like madness. And then it's like,
How sweaty are you?
Incredible.
Oh my god, soaking wet. I'm sweaty by nature though,
same.
and it's only like magnified by that whole process. But yeah, I'm obsessed with it. It's really fun. Yeah.
Do you like? Is that like? Is it so nice? I mean, is the thrill obviously the thrill of
Because
performing
was this your
live.
first tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started last June, and now I've done 20 shows.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Incredible.
New Jersey's coming up.
Yeah, it sold out though. 2
You
hours.
can't can't go.
But it's funny, like that's my audience.
Uh-huh.
You put me in Dallas, that was in a February. Spooky.
Spooky.
Whoa.
Ticket sales, I was like, whoa, big up. It's just like you gotta figure out where your markets are.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Like I'll always perform well, I think, in the East Coast in that pocket. I did well over here when I was in LA, but
course.
like there's just like you just gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's not scary to try something like that. Like it's so scary to do it, and then you're like, oh, like you don't. I thought like stand up and comedy had to be a very specific structure based on what you see on a special or like how it's been done. But like I'm just doing my live show, like an extended version of my internet stuff, and like people love it, and it's got the attention of like bigger people now. So it's like just kind of not letting the standard be the only way to do something, just like evolving it how you want to.
And ultimately, they're there for you,
Yeah.
and they like you. So one, whatever you do, they're gonna like. But two, also like they're used to like the way that you perform, and like also it's nice for you to do stand up for them. That's like something new for them as well.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. This like there's like the standard, and there's only the right way to do it. It's like I don't even know if necessarily the people who want what I'm able to give would be like they'd kind of be like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it's but that's so cool that you've been able to like find that. And also I'm assuming the interaction with fans is like
oh my god,
the best part.
they're
Yeah.
the craziest. It's like all women. First of all, it's like my demographic is 88% women, and then
Sick,
the
man.
other 12% are definitely gay men, and then like the couple of straights in between.
Yeah.
But they show up, and I feel like I'm like tell everybody, I'm like, you have permission to be sloppy tonight. Like the kids are good.
Yeah.
You have your time.
Yeah.
And they come. Oh my god, I had a girl in Seattle throw open a popcorn bag.
Hell yes.
After she screamed, "Show me your pussy," when I was in the mom outfit of all characters, not this one. Oh my god, I had another girl. She was like, "I got pregnant at a Beyonce concert. I'm 5 minutes," and I'm like, "We're not doing this right now." Yeah, Seattle was wild, Austin was wild, and then Boston was wild. I
Yeah.
think Jersey's gonna be insane.
Oh, I'm
too.
sure.
Yeah, but they show up.
What your love for Jersey Shore is something we
Yes.
share.
Oh my god, those girls are so
Yeah.
sick, and I'm
Amazing.
friends with them. Which
Right.
is like,
Amazing.
that's Snooki DM'd me. She's like, my mom's friends are all coming to your show. I've got to hang out with a lot of them now. Not Sammy though. I think I made too many Sammy videos. I can't get closer to her. But Nicole is great. Dean
So
is
sweet,
great.
yeah.
And then like Jenny was the first one to like Jenny is such a good person online. Like she'll comment on like an account with one follower and be like, love you. Like she's just like, and they're so humble, but they don't realize that they like, and I don't want to be weird about it, but I'm like, they literally raised me in a way. Like I
Same.
was obsessed.
Yeah.
And like I was always obsessed with TV, but that was like such a like, it's not good to brag about, but I watched the episode when she got hit in the face because it was that one night it aired, and I was there because I was like so on the schedule. I saw her get hit, and I was like,
Wait, you were at
no,
Oh,
I was just like because they only showed
When
it
it was
that
on
one
TV.
time, and
Yeah,
then they were, like,
right.
the backlash, and they never showed it on air again. But I was like that much of a fan that I was like at that time of day I had to watch it. But the Jersey, I like the Jersey energy.
Yeah.
I'm friends with some of the housewives from New Jersey now too. Like it's the East Coast vibes. Like when
Yeah.
they're just like rough and real and a little like out of pocket, but I like that kind of honesty.
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, they changed the first ever video of mine to take off on TikTok was Jersey Shore. So I started doing Jersey Shore like exclusively at the beginning. So when I first met Snooki and like all of them, I was like, you literally we grew up together, and I also like you changed my life. Like literally, like I'm so grateful to all of you for just inspiring me and like the joy you have brought and the smiles you have brought, because you know it just like you changed my life. I'll never ever like lose love for any of those
I have
people or
chills.
that show. Like it's just like
No, it's real.
Yeah.
And I think they got such like a bad that the media was so terrible to them when
Yeah.
it was
Awful, yeah.
but there was still like the silent majority that was like, no, we're upset.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. And the show's still on now, and I'm not like caught up on the newer stuff, but I'll watch the clips and they're still dragging each other.
Yeah.
So
They're still part of the zeitgeist. I mean, they did something right.
Yeah,
like
they know
everyone's
that.
and everyone knows about them. And also now that it's like cross generation.
Yeah.
which is iconic.
Angelina's just like scalped every episode. She's like- I met Angela when I met Angelina though. This is how diehard I am. I met Angelina at a drag race event like years ago when I first moved to New York, and I was so excited to talk to her that I sang her song. Do you remember her song? I'm hot, so hot. I'm like an ice cream cone with a cherry on top, and I got a lot. This thing, at one point she's like, I even bopped a cop. I bopped his top. It was like something weird like that, and I rapped the whole song because I was so excited to see her. Like, I was on like their B-side music career. Like, oh my god.
She's like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yeah,
how do you
no,
know
she.
that?
Oh no, she.
Or she ate it up, of course. Yeah.
She was like, second verse.
Yeah, more.
Oh my god, they're sick.
That's so funny.
They're really cool. They're really cool.
Now, another thing you love, which I'm noticing, I don't know where you got your coffee from today, but you love Dunkin' Donuts.
I do. They're fine.
No, wait, sorry. Dunkin'.
No, I love Dunkin'. I think they could do better. I'm gonna say it. They could be better to their creators.
Oh, tea.
Yeah, they put me on, and then I saw what I should have been on, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And like in the industry, I'm just like kind of like they're great. Like I actually rep them because I love them.
Yeah.
but I think though they should pay people more money.
Word.
Yeah. These massive corporations.
Yeah, but like even like the industry standard, they're not even
there.
Yeah, and I love them. I was in a commercial for them.
Yeah.
and I got caught.
Oh.
I thought I paid.
What the heck?
They flew me out to a Dunkin' that opened up way like 2 hours out of like California.
Okay.
I did a full day shoot, and it was during COVID-ish. So they had like a really great production crew that wasn't working on their normal. It was the guy who did Ozark. Who was, like, one of the art directors for Ozark was doing it.
Okay.
But they just like weren't doing their production, so he was like open to stuff like this.
Yeah.
And they had me do this whole shoot, and I was so excited, and I was the only part that got cut.
Oh.
But it was for like mobile order pickup, and I was in the drive-thru, and I'm like, no one does mobile order in the drive-thru. You just order at the window. Like, why would you like wait through all that? So it never really made sense. And I like love that company. I just think that like we left on like a little bit of a weird term. So unless they're like open to real negotiations.
Yeah.
But I'm an iced coffee lover for sure.
Iced coffee. Yeah.
Always.
All right, well, enough about them. Talk about...
No more airtime.
Zachariah also has an amazing podcast with his partner, John,
Yeah.
called Camp Counselors. When did you two get started with that? And are you enjoying it? Are you loving
Yeah,
it?
like, how is it to work with your partner? How is it like so fun? Is it?
We do everything together, which is
Great.
like, I think people think it's unhealthy. We also like fight all the time.
Shout out, John.
Yeah. We love you, Jonathan.
Yes,
he's
we love you.
He's the funniest, most talented person I've ever met. And he's like, just his humor is like way more cerebral and smarter than mine.
Susie
I'm like,
Toot.
Yeah, literally. And I'm low hanging fruit. Just like that made sense, right? But he had a background in podcasting, so we moved in together in New York. We were doing long distance for a while, and then we were like, oh, let's do like a project together that's not video. It's like a new thing. So we started the podcast in 2022. Took us a year and a half to get picked up by a network. It was like a labor of love. But now we're on like year 3 of doing it.
Wow.
And a lot of people come from the podcast of the show, and people who listen to a podcast are like even more of a diehard because they like locked into like everything.
Yeah.
So they know so much more, and they remember jokes from like 3 years ago, and they came dressed in merch, and they make their own stuff. But the podcast is like this like little corner of the internet that's just like very funny, and it's like a big inside joke with the crew. I love it. It's so nice to show up and not have to like overproduce.
Totally.
And just to like gab.
Just do your thing.
Yeah. It's so much easier now. It's so hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
To transition that way.
Yeah.
But we're in a really good flow.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're so
it.
right about that. I always think about this like with our listeners, like our the people who really tune in every single week. I'm like, that's a lot. It's a lot. I'm always like so thankful for the people that
They
like,
know the tea.
They know the tea, but they know everything because they're like, okay, I'll listen to you talk for an hour every single week. Like it's like the people, the diehard podcast listener fan base versus just like, the 15-second video here or like this whatever there. I'm like, damn, you're locked in and you care. And like, I see you because like, thank you. Like, I know that takes like that takes a lot to really commit to that. I'm like,
Are you a podcast listener?
yeah. I listened to a handful. Yeah. No,
It's not. I don't know. I feel like if I had a schedule that would allow that, like a lot of people like commute with a podcast or they work. I can't work and listen to someone speaking. Like I need to like listen to myself speak.
I go in and out of certain podcasts though. Like I feel like I used to really listen weekly, and now I just don't really. And also, I like to listen to like kind of like boring like news podcasts. And stuff
Okay,
like
we'll stay informed.
But yeah. Honestly, but I've been listening a lot less because I'm like, why would I ruin my day?
Every day.
Yeah, every day. I don't know about that. Guess I don't want to know about that, but I guess I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to like my favorite like those ones or like Race Chaser, anything with Drag Race. I literally do. I love Race Chaser and Sibling Rivalry.
Yeah.
And like
Trixie Katya.
yeah, Trixie Katya. Like the girls.
Do you listen to Kelly Mantles?
I have not yet.
Oh,
Delta.
Love. I got to meet Delta. I did Delta show.
wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's just like,
absolutely incredible.
she's like who I want to be in like 10 years from now. We like have all the same ideas about food and customer service. That bitch goes on a rant and I'm like, period.
Yeah,
Sandwich.
period. Yeah, everything you said.
Artistry.
I love
Sandwich
her.
artistry. And then I'm really curious to know, what was your favorite invention or the vintage that you found, and do you still use any of them today?
I don't use any of them currently, but they're all in my apartment in this like giant like under storage cabinet thing that we just happen to fit them all. The pasta video like put me on like a different like trajectory of my life. It got me like media attention and it got me like to another level. So that one always like holds like a dear spot in my heart. But my favorite one probably was the cotton candy machine, because I decided to throw it out the window at the end of it. And it was all very like, let's shock them, you know what I mean? And I knew I was like, if I put my tripod outside, then open the window, it's like so planned. But the way it was executed and the way it kind of broke and the reaction, I was like, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cinematography.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
Speaking of cinematography, did I interrupt you?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, are you ready are you an Ariana Grande fan?
Yeah.
Are you excited for the short film next week?
I am not linked in it at this level.
Oh.
Wait, short film for what project? A new
For
project?
the Eternal Sunshine
Brighter
Deluxe.
Days Ahead.
Oh, I'm excited for her. I feel like she had a really tough award season. She was very graceful.
Yeah.
Didn't win a single one.
Yeah.
And she deserved them all.
Well, no. What was the one that she did win? Rising Star.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she won that?
Yeah, but it was just like so funny.
Which I'm like, she's like
simply-
literally one of the most famous people in the world.
yeah,
She's been
yeah.
a star
Superstar
for
ever.
15 years.
I love her so much. I saw, what tour did I see? Sweetener tour? Yeah.
Sweetener Thank You Next?
Yes.
Yes.
And I saw it in Boston, and I sat in front of. So at that point, I was probably like what, 25ish, 26. It's like before COVID.
Yeah, it was right
And
before COVID.
I was jumping up and down in like freaking out because I worked my ass off to get those tickets, and there was a group of 4 snotty nosed like middle school girls right behind me that were so pissed that I was like in front of them jumping up and down.
It's the same story.
And I literally was like, and then the mom said something to me, and I said, you bought their tickets. I worked my ass off for these tickets. Stand up. They were sitting. I'm like, get involved.
Julian has the same Ariana Grande story.
My first Ariana Grande concert.
It's because the demo, was it younger girls behind you?
It was a young girl and their family who we were dancing during I've said this before, but we were dancing during the opening, and they were like, y'all are going to sit during the concert, right? And we were like, no, probably not. I was like, no. And then they're like, come on. I was like, well, we can switch places. Like, and it was in a arena. So it was at Madison Square Garden.
There's an
We were,
incline.
we were fine. So we were like, but I also was like, we can switch row. I was like, we'll go up one if you want to go down. They're like, no, that's not the point. I was like, no, whatever.
What's the fucking point?
Bang Bang is the opening. Right?
You're out.
Yeah. By the way, imagine sitting for Bang Bang.
And the guy's like, this is her favorite. This is her favorite artist. And I was like, she's my favorite artist too.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I didn't care. And then Bang Bang starts playing. We're all dancing, and this little girl is sobbing, taps on my Bettina's shoulder, and screams in her face. We all turn around. We're looking at this girl screaming, crying like snot. She's like, "Do you have a heart?" And she screams and Bettina looks at the dad and she goes, your child can't talk to me like that.
Check that child. Also, like, just involve yourself. Like,
Right.
mad at herself for not being able to like let go, and we'll shut.
Also, by the way,
They still refuse to switch, and then 10 minutes later, we look behind the girl sitting on her phone. I
Yeah.
was like, you don't even care.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a
Shut
great
down.
experience for you. Go home, play the album, and shut the fuck. Sit down, put your blindfold on, and
fuck
just
you
I don't know, like,
and
let it-
fuck them kids.
Yeah, it's very much like similar to when like a parent like on a plane, you know. Well, I need to sit with my child. I'm like, well, why don't you book that ticket with her?
Yeah.
I need your window seat. No,
We're
you
all
actually
living
don't.
our own lives in instances. Like, just check yourself, handle it. Like, obviously, I don't hate in concerts when people are like shouting.
No,
the
yes,
words.
the screaming.
Like, I saw Lana this summer and everyone was shouting it that I literally couldn't hear it, but like I wasn't like flipping out, but it was annoying. But like, Ariana Grande wants you to show up and show out.
Yeah.
She's not wanting you to sit down. It's not an opera.
It's not. No, it's not. Yeah, exactly.
We don't know now though. We could be getting some classical.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
She's like, in this one we're gonna sit down.
Imagine like she's going for like breathe in and breathe in, and then she's like,
sit down.
let us speak.
You're on the floor.
She comes down in a bubble.
I would die.
She comes out in a bubble.
Oh, it'd be everything.
It's very. I'm excited for that new stuff, but
Next week.
yeah, next week.
Next week.
Oh my God, so exciting.
Well, thank you so much for
We
coming on.
adore you. This was so fun.
Obsessed with you.
was
In love with you.
so fun.
I can't wait to sit on TikTok tonight for 3 hours and like go through all your videos.
Please don't. You need to keep your mental health clear.
No,
we need to keep our cars locked up and
Yes,
safe.
metal boxes.
Yes, metal boxes.
This was great. I love you guys. Love the
Love
show.
you.
Thank you.
Wait, also please let us, our fans. I mean, I know that you're selling out.
New
so
Jersey
there's
sold
nowhere to
out,
go.
but-
There's literally nowhere to go. But where to find you? Where they can. Yeah, I mean, first of all, every single person who's listening to this probably knows who you are. But just remind them.
Yeah.
Let the girls
Zachariah
know.
Porter. Just search it. It should pop up. I wasn't smart enough to do cross promotion, so it's ZZ Zachariah some places, Zachariah Porter others. So just search it. There's not a lot of Zachariah. Thank God. I'm everywhere.
Love
Perfect.
it. Thank you
Well,
so
thank
much
you
for
so
being
much.
on.
Thank you.
I missed that boat too. I'm Julian Cookies, Julian Brzezinski, 811. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's a mess.
girl,
It's a
like,
mess.
They're like, bitch, just look at my name and
Just search
then
fag with a
be like-
mustache and a big ass. In a wig.
Yeah.
But you know, but thank you for joining us this
Thank you.
week. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Yay.
Cute. How long was that?